Good morning, students. The other day, I was teaching the different methods that are employed to find out concentrations of solutions. In that connection, mass percentage of solution was taught. Here, mass percentage is one of the methods used to express the concentration of the given binary solution. It is known to you, binary solution means a solution which contains two components, namely solute and solvent. Now let us see the second method, that is volume percentage. Always volume percentage technique or method used while expressing the concentration of the solution. Here volume percentage is particularly used in the case of medicine. So medicine is always taken in a small quantity, dissolved in the solvent, that is water. So in that case, volume percentage can be used, or even volume mass percentage technique can also be used. Now let us see volume percentage first. So volume percentage of any component volume percentage of a component. There are two components in binary solution. That component can be solute or solvent. Is equal to mass of that component, means whose volume percentage we require to calculate. Its mass is taken, divided by volume of both the components. Both the components means here it is nothing but solution. Means solute plus solvent. And percentage means multiplied by 100. So in that way, volume percentage of any component, solute or solvent component, can be calculated. Now let me give one simple example. When we want to make 20% of, say, glucose solution. Example, volume percentage of glucose. How to calculate? Imagine 20 grams of glucose is given to us. Then we will take 20 grams of glucose, and to that we will add distilled water continuously till the volume becomes 100 ml. Here to 20 grams of glucose directly we are not going to add 80 ml of water, because mass of the substance, volume of water will not be equal in the case of all substances. So when we want to calculate volume percentage of glucose, if mass of glucose is 20 grams. So in that case, what we are going to do is, for that 20 grams of glucose, we will add distilled water continuously. In chemistry, whenever water comes, it means distilled water. So it is added continuously till the total volume becomes 100 ml. That means 100 ml of glucose solution we have to get. Right. Then volume percentage of glucose is said to be 20%. So volume percentage of glucose, if we want to make say 20%, then this is the method which we are going to employ. That's about volume percentage. This is second method. Now we'll move to third method of finding concentration of solution. The third method is volume by mass percentage or mass by volume percentage. This is very simple technique and it is winded up in brief in NCERT book. Now let us see synopsis of this method. In this method, particularly this method is employed in the case of substances which are required to be dissolved in small quantity. Say it can be medicine, right? Like penicillin. It is available in the form of powder, and a small bottle containing distilled water is also associated with in the kit. So that penicillin powder is dissolved in that given amount of distilled water, and as a result we will get binary solution of that penicillin solution, and then it is injected into the body of the person after conducting sensitivity test, because it doesn't match with body of everybody. So that is very simple. So what is done is the given substance is dissolved in the distilled water, particularly that substance is medicine in small quantity, as and when it is required to be dissolved. So in that way the solution is made. Now we will move to the fourth technique, that is molarity. This is very important technique used by expressing the concentration of the solution. So in this technique, always a binary solution of required concentration made, let us say. Molarity is symbolically indicated by the letter capital M, and in this we have a very small concept, that is mole. If we know the meaning of the mole in terms of chemistry, then this technique can be understood better. So molarity of any solution depends on the quantity of solute dissolved, and quantity of the solute is expressed in terms of moles, means number of moles, and then that quantity of the substance should be dissolved in the particular amount of the solution, right? So the definition goes like this: molarity of any solution is equal to number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of the solution. This is definition. Number of moles of solute dissolved in 1000 ml or 1 liter of the solution. This is the definition. So number of moles of solute is indicated by the letter NB, B for solute, A for solvent, N for moles or quantity of the solute, and volume of the solution, it can be taken either in milliliters or in liters. So according to the definition, molarity of the solution is equal to number of moles of solute NB Once again, small n stands for mole. Mole means quantity. B stands for solute. A stands for number of moles of solvent. There A stands for solvent divided by volume of the solution. Here this can be taken in terms of liters or milliliters. And as you know, since class 9 was taught, the quantity of the solute or number of moles of solute, that is NB, is equal to given mass of the solute divided by molar mass of the solute. Here given mass of the solute is symbolically represented by small m, and molar mass of the solute is symbolically represented by capital M. So in this way we get two equations. Now equation number 2 can be substituted in equation number 1. As a result, we will get molarity of the solution number of moles of solute NB, but NB is equal to small m by capital M. Next, volume of the solution in liters multiplied by volume in terms of liters. So this is the required formula. That's how we calculate molarity of the given solution. Here, mass of the solution, mass of the solute, volume of the solution. These are the two variables, and capital M is molar mass of the substance. Just by clubbing atomic masses of the given substance and then substituting, here we will get capital M value. So variable small m, volume of the solution V, and capital M, that is molarity of the solution. So out of these three, if we know any two, the third unknown one can be calculated. Here in this formula, capital M denominator stands for molar mass of the substance. Molarity of the solution is indicated by capital M. So these two letters are same. To avoid confusion, here in place of capital M we can use W also. Now we will see one small numerical so that it will be clear how to calculate molarity of the solution. Imagine you are given 4 grams of sodium hydroxide and you are asked to make 100 ml of sodium hydroxide solution. So in that case, how is molarity calculated? So the numerical is like this. Sample numerical. Four grams of caustic soda or sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water to make up to 100 ml of the solution. Find out molarity or the solution of sodium hydroxide. This is a very simple numerical. How to find out? Let us see. So here 4 grams C small m, that is given mass of sodium hydroxide. Molecular composition of sodium hydroxide is NaOH. So here we need to recall atomic mass of sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. These are the 3 different elements present in sodium hydroxide. When all these atomic masses are added and expressed in terms of grams, then it is said to be molar mass. So mass is known, molar mass is known, and then volume of the solution we are required to make up to 100 ml. So volume is also known. Just by substituting these 3 values in the formula, we will get molarity of the solution. This is how you need to work out. Now let us see this solution in short. Here one more thing you need to remember. If this numerical is given for 2 marks, marking scheme is like this. What data is given in the numerical, that you need to write, which carries half mark. Next you need to write formula, half mark. You need to substitute values, half mark, half plus half, 1.5 over. Then you need to go for cancellation to get the result with appropriate unit, that is half mark. So half into 4, 2 marks. That is marking scheme of this numerical. So children, if you do not know how to work out, at least if you write the data, you will get half mark. Now let us see the data. Given mass of sodium hydroxide, that is small m, is equal to 4 grams. Next, molar mass of sodium hydroxide, that is capital M, is equal to 40 grams. So NaOH molar mass is calculated in this way. Sodium 23, oxygen 68, hydrogen 1. Okay, in terms of U, that is mass of 1 molecule of sodium hydroxide. If it is expressed in terms of grams, it will become 40 grams. So 40 grams is molar mass, means 1 mole of NaOH weighs these many grams. 1 molecule of NaOH weighs 40 U. So this we need here, 40 grams. Next, volume of the solution of sodium hydroxide is 100 ml. But we want in terms of liters, therefore this is equal to 100 divided by 1000, 0.1 liter. If you write this much, you will get half mark. This is the data. Now let us see molarity of the solution. How is it calculated? Molarity of sodium hydroxide solution, that is M, is equal to small m divided by capital M into volume. So small m is 4, capital M 40 into 0.1. 0.1 it is obtained by substituting this value, that is 100 divided by 1000. So directly you can write 0.1. This is equal to 4 by 4 is equal to 1 mole per liter. That's how you need to calculate. Children, till now you came to know how to calculate mass percentage, volume percentage, and the molarity of the solution. Here you need to remember one point. when a particular solution is prepared based on molarity technique, it is said to be molar solution. Molar, M-O-L-A-R, molar solution. When this molar solution is heated, or when temperature of this molar solution is brought down, there will be change in the volume of that molar solution. So molarity is NB by V. So in that formula, when denominator fluctuates, means volume of the solution when slightly undergoes changes, definitely change in the volume will come. So molarity is dependent of temperature. This is the main point. Molarity depends on temperature. Now we will move to the other technique, that is parts per million. It is also called ppm. Now let us see what is meant by this technique and where it is used. Parts per million means part of solute dissolved in million parts of the solution. Right? First part refers to solute of the binary solution, and million refers to sum of the parts of solute and solvent, that is solution. Now let us see importance of this technique, ppm. This ppm technique is used in the case of those solutes which are dissolved in very small quantities or traces. Let me give one example. Wherever swimming pools are there, when the swimming pool is used, that water is required to be purified. There can be germs in the swimming pool water. So to kill the germs of that swimming pool water, chlorine tablets are added. So when compared to the quantity of swimming pool water, chlorine tablets quantity is very small. In that case, ppm is used. It means how much quantity of chlorine. Here chlorine is gas. Chlorine gas cannot be added. Here chlorine is taken in the form of tablet. Right? So how much amount of chlorine is required to be dissolved in that swimming pool water in order to purify it? That is expressed in terms of ppm. Hope you might have understood. Now let me give second example. In water, oxygen is dissolved in traces, means in very small quantity. Oxygen is dissolved, whether that water is river water, sea water, and so on. Usually in water, 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 grams of oxygen is dissolved, means very small amount of oxygen that is. But that much oxygen, even though it is there in small quantity which is dissolved in water, will support the aquatic life like fish, seaweeds and so on. They can survive when that much of oxygen is there or dissolved in the water. Now let us see the the formula. Let us see, that is ppm of a component of a binary solution. ppm of a component. Component means solute, right, of a binary solution is equal to number of parts of that component divided by total number of parts of both the components. Both the components means here solute plus solvent. That is nothing but balanced solution. Multiplied by 10 raised to 6. 10 raised to 5 is lakh, 1 lakh. 10 raised to 6 is 1 million. This is the formula. If we write here in place of component solute, we need to write here solute in the numerator. Here, if we need to find out ppm of solvent, generally we don't calculate. If it is required, then here in the numerator solvent should be there in place of component. Usually, concentration of the solution is expressed based on the amount of solute dissolved. So usually component means in this formula, that is numerator component, or here component means solute. Now let us see one sample numerical over this. Six into 10 raised to minus 3 grams of oxygen is dissolved in 1030 grams of a binary solution. Calculate ppm of oxygen dissolved. This is the question. This is the quantity of oxygen dissolved. And 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 means you can imagine very small quantity of oxygen. Right? It is dissolved in 1030 grams of binary solution. Why I wrote here 1032 grams is, if we take seawater, right, it contains number of salts in it, huge amount of salts, right? That's why it is unfit for our consumption. Hence, it is called, what do you call, unpotable water. Potable means one which is fit for our consumption. If we take seawater, in that the salts dissolved in that solution, including oxygen, is equal to 1030 grams. Yeah, 1030 grams. Now, in that, oxygen is also there. So, here our focus is on oxygen, not on the other salts. Right? If we take sodium chloride, then our focus will be on brine. B-R-I-N-E. Brine is different. Brine. Then our focus is over sodium chloride. When we discussing about the ppm of oxygen, then our focus will be on the amount of oxygen dissolved in the water. Now, ppm of oxygen we need to calculate. So here, mass of oxygen is 6 into 10 raised to minus 3. Mass of both the components, solute and solvent together, is equal to 1030 grams. Therefore, solution. ppm of, so this data you need to write, mass of oxygen gas, mass of the solution. Thereafter, ppm of oxygen is equal to, so mass of oxygen 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by mass of both the components together, 1030 multiplied by 10 raised to 6. Right. Now, this almost you will get around 5.8. Right. Approximately 5.8 you will get. So 5.8 into 10 raised to 6 ppm of oxygen. That's how it is calculated. That's about this technique, that is ppm of the solution. Now we will move to The other important technique that is mole fraction. It is symbolically represented by the letter chi. It looks like X and we read it as chi, C-H-I. The symbol is read as. So mole fraction is the other method of the technique that is used to express concentration of the solution. If we want to know mole fraction of solute, remember children, in the case of solvent, we use the sign A. In the case of solute, we use the sign of the symbol B. Right, this is what you need to remember. In some books, solvent is represented by the letter capital S or 0. Solute is represented by the letter small s or 1. So here we use these symbols A and B. Now mole fraction of any component. I have two components in binary solution. So mole fraction of any component is equal to mole fraction of that component divided by mole fraction of both the components together. If you add both the components together, we will get unity. So mole fraction of solute can be calculated, mole fraction of solvent can be calculated separately. So when these two mole fraction values of a binary solution are added, we should get 1. That is unity. Now let us see how is mole fraction of solute calculated. Mole fraction of the solute chi B is equal to, here the knowledge of mole is required for you. Whose mole fraction we need to calculate? Its number of moles should be the numerator divided by total or sum of the number of moles of both the components, that is A and B. So here mole fraction of solute chi B is equal to number of moles of solute, that is NB, divided by total number of moles of solution. So solution means here both the components together. So in the case of solution, what we do is we add NB to NB. This is our solute and this is our solvent. So when solute and solvent are added, we will get what do you call the sum of the number of moles of solution or total quantity of solution, we can say. Now, if we need to calculate mole fraction of solvent, how should it be calculated? Let us see. Mole fraction of the given solvent, that is chi A for solvent, is equal to number of moles of solvent that is chi A divided by total number of moles of solution. Again here solution means NB plus NB. Right. That is about mole fraction. Here, if mole fraction of solute is more, it means concentration of the solution is more. So concentration of solution depends on the quantity of the solute dissolved in that binary solution. Now we will see one sample numerical, but before going to see that sample numerical, let us see these expressions slightly modified when the expression of number of moles of solute and solvent are changed. Number of moles of solute NB is equal to mass of the solute divided by molar mass of the solute. Let this be equation number 3. So also number of moles of solvent is equal to mass of solvent, right, divided by molar mass of solvent. Here MB. This is fourth equation. When these are substituted in equation number 1 and 2, we will get mole fraction of solute Chi B is equal to 9. We have written number of moles of solute. Number of moles of solute is this, MB by capital MB divided by total number of moles of solute, NB by Na. Again MB by MB plus Na. Na is this, Ma by MB. This is equation number 5. Next, in the case of number of moles of solvent, we have the expression Ma by Ma. That we are going to substitute in Chi A. So Chi A is equal to number of moles of solvent Chi A. Chi A is nothing but number of moles of solvent divided by Chi A number of moles of solvent Na by Nb. So Na is equal to Ma by capital Ma divided by total number of moles of the solution. So Ma by capital Ma plus Mb by capital Mb. Let this be equation number 6. So when we add, in the case of binary solutions, Chi A plus Chi B, here condition is solute should be completely soluble in solvent. Then we will get unity. So in the numerical, after adding the number of moles of the Chi B and Chi A values, that is mole fraction of solute and mole fraction of solvent. When we add, we should get unity. Then that numerical is said to be correct.